Hi, welcome to PenBay Watch, the show brought to you by Penobscot Bay Regional Chamber of Commerce. I'm Stacy Coomer, the Executive Director of the Chamber. We're very excited to be in a fun location downtown, and it's not entirely new because you may recognize it because we've been here before. So I'm going to reintroduce our guest who we've been with and who is going to take us through some new topics today, but we're here to learn a little bit about insurance. So Patty, can you introduce yourself and tell us where we are today again?
Thank you. I'm Patty Moran and I have been working at this location since, well, a year off from college, and then 1981 I came here permanently. I'm the fourth generation, first woman generation here. We've been here since actually 1926. And a lot of changes in insurance in that time, a lot of new things. And I thought maybe today I'd talk about why you might like to have an insurance agent instead of just going online for insurance, and maybe a little bit about homeowners.
That'll be great. And so we are right in the heart of Rockland, seeing all the hustle and bustle of the day. So right here at EC Moran, and it's a great location, so highly convenient for getting here and accessing you and what you need. And it's interesting that you talk about, local versus online insurance agents, because that obviously is very front and center with a lot of the commercials we see, and it would be helpful to know how and why. So.
Right. Well, I find that when people go online to purchase their own insurance and they're not really sure what they're getting, they will purchase the cheapest of each thing as they go down. And sometimes, it doesn't serve you well to have low limits of coverage. You should have good liability coverage. But sometimes when you go with an agent and we can compare different companies and find the one that's best for you, sometimes that company will have more credits and discounts. And it could be that it's cheaper with this company that wants you, and you can have good coverage and a rounded out policy, than it is than to just pick the cheapest of everything.
So it's always good to have the chance to talk to a professional.
It does. We can advise you. We can advise you what the companies want and kind of match you to a company that would like your business to best suit you.
And as you've told us before, it's really the no risk. So you'll take a look at and make recommendations, but you would rather have someone come in and look at that than maybe make a poor choice.
Right.
Just saying, great, this is what I can afford, so I'm going to click, 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 and take that option.
If you go online and you think this is what you want to have, then bring it to us and we'll take a look and tell you what we might recommend. And maybe there's a loss-free discount, maybe there's an account credit for putting two things in the same company that might bring the price down and give you better coverage at the same time.
And again, you are the ones that know about insurance, so we shouldn't try to guess. So again, that leads into a great question is, how often should you be talking to your agent? So in addition to maybe just exploratory things, what should you be doing on a regular basis?
Well, I find that people buy their insurance and hope to never take those papers out again. You pay the bill.
Yep.
But there are certain things that should trigger a chat with the insurance agent. That little home business that you're starting to make a little money on the side, or you're deciding to rent your home. Or maybe you've put on an addition and you haven't thought, gee, I should have more insurance coverage in case something happens to it. Changes in your life. And where we're an independent agent, we have a lot of different companies for each type of thing. We can shop companies. Sometimes there's certain companies that will go up a huge amount in price or put on certain restrictions, and then we find that you might be better with another company. We can shop the company for you.
And also, I think even if things were to even stay the same, people don't always know what's within the breadth of their policy.
Right.
So, not to insult our own intelligence, but you know the bigger pieces, but it can be challenging to know what's within that sometimes.
Right. Homeowners, you typically are required to have homeowners insurance, and the bank will say you need this much and you buy it. And I don't think you stop to think that there's so much more that it covers. It's going to cover your outbuildings, and it'll cover all your personal property, your tools, your clothes, your dishes, all the things that you own pretty much. It doesn't cover your toys that are registerable, snowmobiles, ATVs, and all that. But we also will give you coverage if you have to live somewhere else after you've had a claim. You know, things like that that you want to look at that you might not know to put in a claim if you don't understand your policy.
So really also thinking of your insurance person as more of a resource to you, not just the time to come get the policy, check once in a while, but you know, if you have the question, ask. You use the professional that you have to be able to connect on that.
We try to be able to make it simple for you. We can explain what it does cover, when we can pay a claim, things we can help you with. You really don't want to read all those pages, even if they are simplified. You know, it's a legal document, and it's a lot to wade through, and we typically can go right to the section that you're interested in and help you find answers.
Wonderful. Well, you've touched a little on homeowners already, so maybe we can dig a little bit deeper into that. Again, it can be confusing, especially when you're just buying a home for the first time. It can be more confusing, but you know those requirements are there to have homeowners insurance. How do you get started with what you've paid, what you have?
I mean, one of the first things when you're looking at a house, you should get that insurance quote, because you want to know it's insurable. Now, all the companies would like to have that house that's 20 years old with everything updated, away from the coast, you know.
Really close to the fire department or something, right? I remember these things.
Yeah, so, you know, if you're getting an older house, it's really important to know what the electrical is. We don't like knob and tube wiring. We want your circuit breakers. But everything should be updated in the last couple decades. Your roof shingles should all be flat, not curling or cupping. They want those updated, your electrical updated, plumbing, and your heating system. And they're very careful about wood stoves. If you have a wood stove, they want to make sure that a professional installed it. It's a good wood stove, UL approved, and the chimney is lined. They'll be very careful about all that to make sure it's safe, because that does lead to a lot of claims, chimney fires and things. So.
And that's really interesting in our market, obviously. Every person, if not.
And wood stove's not central heat, so they want to make sure you have a furnace that keeps the whole house warm. This has been a winter of freeze-ups because of the sustained cold. So. They're very particular about the heating system, as you should be. You don't want to be cold when you're buying a house. You know, you want to.
And I know you tend to think through those things when you're looking, but it really helps hit those points again for you to think a little bit more in depth about what's out there and what's available when you're looking at homeowners insurance. So what about people that are renting? What options do they have?
Well, if you're renting, you still need the insurance. It's not required, but it's a good idea to have, because often we hear about apartment houses. I mean, you're taking on the risk of everybody else in the building. If somebody's burning candles, if somebody's smoking or something like that, to protect your belongings for something like $100 a year, it gives you coverage to replace all your clothes and everything you own, and will put you up to live somewhere else. It will help cover you if you're sued, if anybody trips in your apartment, that sort of thing. So it's still important whether you own your house or whether you rent.
So again, probably something that people don't always think about when they're, especially again,